What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, everybody? This is your boy, Mr. T Money 1993, representing the original Panthers fan podcast. Why do I call myself the original Panthers fan? We were awarded the team October 26, 1993, and my birthday is October 27th, 1993. Therefore, the original Panthers fan. Today we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and react to the Panthers Huddle, closing out the preseason episode. So let's get into that.
The following is an exclusive presentation of the Carolina Panthers and the National Football League.
On this episode of the Panthers Huddle, the Panthers close out the preseason in Buffalo, and head coach Dave Canales joins us to talk about pregame prep and how the newest Panther stars are fitting in with the team.
Plus, I go one-on-one with Trevin Wallace.
Trevin Wallace, the most surprising draft pick so far for me.
And Cart Talk is back. See who's getting grilled by JJ.
We took a little break. It was like a writer's strike. But now we're back.
Hello and welcome inside the Panthers Huddle. I'm Kristen Balboni.
And I'm Thomas Davis.
All right, TD, we're going to get straight into it because we've seen more preseason action. We have got to break it down with you. What do you feel about starters playing in the preseason?
You know, there's so many different variables that go into whether or not a starter should play or if they shouldn't play. We've been hit with the injury bug a little bit, and I think that's kind of has these coaches a little apprehensive about putting guys in. You got to get back used to the speed of the game. It's not the same as you're going to get in a practice setting, but if your team is banged up and you have a lot of guys that are injured, it's smart to make the decision and not put those guys out there in that action, because at the end of the day, you want them out there for week one.
Mm-hmm. Well, you mentioned the injury bug. One guy that was hit by it, unfortunately, Dane Jackson, was going to be the starting cornerback. But so we've seen guys both in joint practices and in the preseason games rotating in. How would you feel if you were the defensive coordinator about the depth at DB?
Obviously, it's tough to lose a guy like Dane Jackson, but when you have the opportunity to get valuable reps to your backups and really find out what these guys are capable of doing in real life game situations, I think is very important. And as the D coordinator, as the DB coach, you want to see your guys get those opportunities because you got to understand and know what you're working with. And I think these guys have shown up well so far in the preseason.
You know, I got to ask you about linebackers.
The defensive coaches must not agree that much with TD though, because they got rid of almost all the secondary.
So
absolutely,
we know Shaq, we know Josie Jewell, the veterans that have put in the work. We'll see them out on the field plenty. What about the other guys that are cycling in and out?
KB, that's the position that I feel like is heating
is the best.
Up. It's always the best, but it's definitely heating up. If you look at these guys, they're making the decision hard on this coaching staff because they're showing up, they're making plays, they're going out and they're being productive. And that's what you want to see in a coaching staff when you were watching film and you were evaluating talent. You want to make sure that these guys, first and foremost, they know what they're doing. They're playing fast. And you get the chance to really evaluate their talent from what they're able to put on film. And these linebackers, they've shown up week in and week out, play in and play out. They're always making plays.
All right, TD, you mentioned making plays. We're going to let you see some guys making plays in the preseason home opener versus the Jets. It's this week's Bojangles.
Joint practice this Thursday where we saw the Jets once and the Panthers once. Carolina balled out. Bryce Young drew rave reviews. The defense, 5 takeaways, while the offense did not have a
way better against the Jets than last year.
giveaway. A lot of positives from that joint practice. We spin it to tonight. Again, we're not going to see the usual suspects. They go motion man, pressure off the edge. Plummer. On the outside, hold in by Terrence Marshall. And that takes him into Jet territory.
The new Niner, Terrence Marshall. Shout out to him.
Eddie Pinheiro for 35 yards out, puts it through. He gave it the game having made 31 straight regular season field goals here at home. So Zerline will come out for a field goal attempt. Zerline's kick is good. We're tied at 3. About ready for the start of the second half here at Bank of America Stadium. Martinez a threat with his leg. Has the QB. Here's rush 5. Down the middle of the second. Carolina gets the takeaway. It's
Damani Richardson, who made the practice squad. Shout out to him.
Being in the right place at the right time. The rush is coming. Reach the eyes of the quarterback. Goes right to Brad Braxton, and he gets him up. Goals right here. And the kick is good. 5 field goals for the Jets. Panthers not calling timeout. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Hands off to Johnson. Spins away and crosses the goal
Which I don't know where Johnson is at. We ended up cutting him, though.
line. Down the horn. Wow. Final score, Jets 15, Carolina 12. Panthers get their first touchdown of the preseason. Final play of the game.
How come? What do you feel if you go into the regular season without playing in the preseason?
I'll be comfortable either way. Again, I know that they're not just waking up and rolling the dice. There's a reason for everything. They're very calculated in what they're doing. They have our best. They know what's best. They've had a lot of success throughout different places. The staff, they're very knowledgeable. They know what they're doing. So I'll be confident where we call this.
I wasn't here last year, but me just being here, I feel like everything's just going ace and up, and we feel like we bring that energy. We want to play physical front. I feel like those guys just encapsulate that. And also, how smart those guys are. Obviously, those guys have been in situations. All those guys have had a little more success. We have in the past. So kind of just bring that knowledge to the offensive line and just share that with us about some of the little things that we got to do to be better. I feel like it's been a big improvement for us. Definitely glad to have those guys. And also been great at center by the way, in case I was wondering. Real good.
My personal style of coaching and getting to know the guys and kind of building a relationship. I've got their back and vice versa. And I think that's important. This is, at the end of the day, we all know it's a business, but at the same time, it's a people business. And when you can reach them, they know you have their best interest at heart. I think they're going to go out and they're going to try to do what you ask them to do.
Coming up, head coach Dave Canales joins us to talk about some of the newest names on the roster.
You just give him a split second more. He's about to separate.
This exclusive Thursday.
Appreciate you coming out.
Thanks for having me. Yeah. What a perfect morning we have right now.
Absolutely. Let's talk preseason. It is such a great time for this new staff to get together. You're on the field together. Just want to know how that's going.
It's been great. The thing that I relished getting to experience is being able to be on the headsets for both sides, offense and defense. To hear the calls, hear the communication, the tips that go into our inside linebackers. Of course, I've been a part of the offensive side, but I've been really pleased just with the focus and the clear communication that happens with our coaching staff. A lot of the guys on the offensive side I've worked with before, so we have some pretty good rhythms. Some of them just have never been with me as a play caller, so we've been able to just go through these drives and say, hey, I'd like a little bit more of this, a little less of that, working through things that way. George Lee is my eye in the sky, and he and I are just in constant communication throughout the game, in tune with the different situations to be able to challenge things, use timeouts, go for it on fourth. Some of those conversations, it's been fantastic.
That's wonderful to hear. The question that everyone always asks head coaches, I'm going to ask you here, what's the pregame routine?
Yeah, so I typically get there, and Brad and I have been doing this. This is year 6 for us. We get a nice workout before the game, do a couple of plyometric kind of dynamic movements going around the field, usually finish off with some bands, a little bit of core, and then after that, I shower up, grab my call sheet, grab some food, and just kind of call a few drives, and just get the flow of the personnel's in and out, the situations, and those things. So that's basically my routine.
Wow, I never heard that before. So he practices play calling.
After that, I'm ready to go, and I'm just there to just connect with the players and just kind of see where they're at emotionally, mentally, and just kind of rattle the cages a little bit and say, hey, let's wake up, let's go. Guys are really focused in their lane, but trying to bring them out of that as they get ready to play a football game.
Speaking of offensive coordinator, Brad, you said you guys go through that pregame routine. I also saw at the home game your old coworker Robert Saleh. He was running the stairs, right? Is that something you get from your old boss Pete Carroll since you both worked for him?
Actually, Pete never worked out before the year.
Really? He saved all his energy for in-game.
Absolutely.
Huh?
And so that was really just something that as a staff, he always challenged us to go for it. Always compete, win forever. And the way that I internalized that was he's talking about winning at everything. He's talking about competing in all areas of your life, and certainly fitness and wellness and all those things are really important to me and to the guys on staff. So yeah, Robert and I kind of just developed that in different ways over the years. I definitely have to give Robert the edge. Like if he's got the courage to take on the stadium stairs, and get that kind of work out, and just kind of looking at it, he just kind of looks pretty yoked right now. So I had a good laugh about that, and actually some of his players, Tyron Smith and another offensive lineman, came over and were like, looks like you guys probably get in this practice right now. You guys get a competition to work on it.
I love to hear that. So let's switch gears a little bit to looking ahead to the regular season. I want to talk about some of the players that Panthers fans, they're going to get to know their names real quick if they haven't already. Let's start with some of the free agents that are coming in. Deontay Johnson. Tell me what you love about him.
Deontay is in constant motion. And so I think that the thing that he brings to us, which is beautiful, is he had a lot of experience with Ben Roethlisberger early on, extending plays beyond the first play.
He showed in the Bills game when he got open on the 4th down.
So the critical timing of the first part of the play is just one part of it. And then as the quarterback extends the play, his reactions are so spontaneous. They're instant, and it's a ton of energy going to open space, and we've seen that come alive in our practices. And it's just ability to be open by the end of the play. Is like if you just give him a split second more, he's about to separate. He's just shown that reliability from a receiver standpoint. He's going to be open at some point in his play.
He told me that after they leave the building, he and Bryce Young get together and go through plays so that they can really hone in on what they want to do, which I thought was so cool.
Bryce and Deontay getting together off the field.
Love that as a head coach.
Yeah, just glad to hear, right? It's all about chemistry. It's a me to you factor. The more time you spend together, the more you can anticipate what you're going to do in different situations.
Someone else that will be with them on that offense, Robert Hunt. Tell me about him.
Yeah, big, powerful man with elite feet. So he can kind of mirror. He can mirror the quicker guys. He can power up with the bigger guys. I've just really enjoyed he and Derek Brown just getting after it this camp, making each other better. Iron sharpens iron. We got a bunch of matchups that way at different positions, but that one really gets to highlight two fantastic players that we have, and I've just been so pleased with Robert's just his buy-in, his effort, and just his consistency in being out there on the field.
Let's switch to the defensive side now. A'Shawn Robinson. What do you like about him?
Well, the compliment on the other side of Derek Brown. So we talked about Derek. That's kind of your anchor on one side. You got Shy in the middle. It's fantastic. And then you got A'Shawn Robinson and Kent.
Now that I want to improve by next season is nose type.
Talk about those guys without mentioning Coach Todd Washington. He does a fantastic job of building their readiness for real football, for game-like football. He's challenging them in individual drills, challenging them throughout the practice to chase the ball, and those guys really take to heart, and they've really championed the cause for the team of the effort that we're looking for in a practice on every single rep. There's an opportunity for game readiness from a mental standpoint, technique standpoint, and a physical conditioning standpoint. And so that group has been really like our A+ students in terms of just setting the culture for what we want.
Lastly, I got to ask you about Jadeveon Clowney.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about him.
Jadeveon, he's on the field. It's 100 miles an hour. And he's been really disruptive at times this camp as we're trying to develop the rhythm of our offense. And when Jadeveon's out there, it's every couple of plays, he's causing the run game or the pass game to change what we're doing and affect us in different ways. And I love seeing that disruptiveness of his play, that's what we're counting on going this season.
Well, I know Panthers fans have already enjoyed what they've seen from those guys. We certainly can't wait to see them in the regular season. Coach, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you so much for having me. Up next, I go one-on-one with Trevor Wallace.
T-Mobile savings, take one. Try to standing and say at T-Mobile you get tons of benefits and you can still save versus the other guys.
Closed captioning for the Panthers television network is provided by Charlotte Eye, Ear, Nose, and Throat Associates, providing premier eye and ENT care to North and South Carolina.
What's up? This is the Inside the Huddle exclusive, and I'm right here with my favorite rookie of this draft class, Trevor Wallace. Listen, coming out of Kentucky, I had the opportunity to watch you a lot. I'm a big SEC guy. I love SEC football players, and you were a guy that just jumped out the film for me. The way that you went out and played reminded me a lot of myself. Talk to us a little bit about your incoming experience being a rookie in the NFL.
It was fun because I sat and throws it in the. And I can say they like my brothers. I listen to a lot of the older heads. Sometimes I was looking at them like, hey, like if y'all really mean something that they be joking around like, but then sometimes they serious and I like that. Come in. It was all over orange, all over orange. I ain't feel like the outcast when I came in. I was like, hey, like your brothers and I love that.
Just talk in terms of tell us what has been your biggest difference coming from college into the NFL.
I said the biggest difference is how fast O-linemen is. Like they real quick. Like I would never expect somebody 300+ pounds running that fast. So it just.
That's what I say all the time about the league. In the league, everybody's fast, bro.
It's like, they see they're bigger. They're not as quick as, when they get to the league. So I say that's the thing. Like, quick. You got to be more efficient. Lateral move, no way step. You wait step, you're already on.
So you got that the opportunity to have a joint practice against the Jets, and they have a quarterback that was in my draft class, Aaron Rodgers. Who's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer whenever he decides to retire. You had the opportunity to intercept Aaron Rodgers. And I saw you had another pick out here today, so it says a lot about your hands and about your skills and being able to pick up the defensive teams. What was that like to be able to intercept Aaron Rodgers?
It was one. Both times not allowed to get that. Like, not allowed to get to go home to the game. I feel like Aaron Rodgers, like, not allowed to say that because he's a great quarterback.
That's true. Not a lot of people can say they picked up Aaron Rodgers.
But what it's reason, but when I did that, I was like, dang. Like, I was stuck on that. Like, did I really pick up Aaron Rodgers? It was crazy. I spoke to this out and I told one of my homeboys, I said, if I pick up Aaron Rodgers, I said, I'm not going to go to do. And I picked him up. And I was like, dang, I spoke to this, so it was just crazy. Like, having that moment, pick up, 4 times a week.
My final question for you. Like myself, you grew up in the country, right? We talked about this. We had this discussion.
He won because he only got a stop sign. He was proud of that. Like, who was proud to have a stop sign? He won that. But in my defense, I'm still more country. Way more country, but he won.
We were talking about who hometown was the country. He's like, we only got 5,000 people. I'm like, 5,000 people.
He proud of that. Like, what's so happy to have 1,000 people?
You started the conversation. You told me that you were more country. We have 1,000 people in my hometown. He's talking about 5,000.
He's saying everything. Proud of that.
That's a big extent compared to us.
He's proud of that. I am proud of that. But guess what? My high school football way better than his.
Nobody care about that.
Y'all
got 5,000 people in your hometown. You got 4,000 more people to add to your team.
That is true. When you're in a bigger spot, like, you got way more talent. Well, you should have way more talent.
What you can win arguments with, I'm not one of them.
I didn't know. I understand. But listen, like, just know if I don't run yeah, I'm running straight over.
Let me tell you. There's a whole lot of BS. Take the film. Panther linebacker legacy. That's a big legacy.
That is a big legacy. When you talk about Sam Mills, we talk about Dan Morgan, we talk about John Beason, we talk about TD, when you talk about Luke, like, that linebacker spot, especially that inside linebacker spot in Carolina, it's legendary. You feel me?
Definitely. But I can definitely tell you without a doubt that I'm excited to watch you play this year. You are one of my favorite players, and I'm not just saying this because I'm interviewing you right now, but I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of pressure that comes with it. So don't let me down. I'm not signing up.
TD, long snappers aren't always the most talked about player on an NFL team.
We've got one that does all the talking himself. That's right. Cart Talk is back, and let's see who's in the hot seat. With JJ Johnson.
All right, here we go. Season 2, episode 3.
Which one or two?
Icky and Josie. We took a little break, a writer strike, but now we're back. I want to congratulate you first of all.
I appreciate it.
You are the first 2-time guest on Cart Talk.
Hey. I'm just trying to, strive for greatness. So my little girl's here now. So we have a 5-year-old, 3-year-old, and a 2-month-old. So how's the little crazy?
Have you heard the kids are expensive? When you were a kid, when you were doing like when you were in the swimming pool, were you like the cannonball guy, belly flop? High dive, what were you doing?
I was a little bit chunkier kid, so I was the pinball belly flop guy.
Okay, what was your preferred move?
I started at the back wall and went as fast as I can and took the knees. I had to go and took the knees.
So this year we did training camp here, Charlotte, first time really ever. What were some of
I know that had to be a different experience, man. I wish I could have been in the city, boy. Training camp at the crib, you ain't got to go to Wofford, you ain't got to deal with that Spartanburg heat. I know the guys were loving it.
of being here in Charlotte versus away away from the family and Spartanburg?
Definitely getting to go home. Definitely getting to go home at night.
One of the things I've noticed in the locker room is you guys are a pretty tight group, because when I get attacked by Shy for sensitivity or least amount of swag, which obviously we're doing on sleeve this year, I've got my hair, we're swagging out. But I've noticed that the whole D-line, it's usually me first, the whole D-line. So you guys are tight.
I don't even really understand how much that actually helps. Like the play on the field to actually be close with the person next to you,
Sure.
Have that relationship. It's different.
We got you the first ever Cart Talk with JJ Jansen t-shirt.
Hey, I need one of them cartons, JJ Jansen.
So that one's for you, buddy.
Great job.
Hey, buddy, I appreciate it. Great job. This was fun. Cart Talk Season 2, Part 2. We're back. And great year, everybody. All right, keep on.
Okay. We talked about the defense earlier. Let's talk now about the offense in the Coke 3 keys.
My 3 keys leaving this preseason, without a doubt, is first one, KB, we have to make sure that we solidify this offensive line rotation. We know that there have been
I definitely feel way better about this offensive line now.
a ton of guys banged up in and out of the lineup, but that's going to be important to make sure that we have that solidified. Number 2, the timing between the quarterback and the receiver. We got to make sure that our timing is exactly where it needs to be going into week 1. And the most important key going into week 1, leaving this preseason, is without a doubt making sure that Bryce Young is confident with everything that's been installed in this playbook. I feel like he's a very smart kid. He understands what's going on, and he picks up things at a high level. That's what we heard about it. I just feel like that's one of the biggest things. As long as Bryce is comfortable, we're going to be in a good place.
All right, offense, you heard TD. Time to start taking notes. Those were the 3 keys to the offense. All right, that's all the time we have for today, TD. But we, of course, want to thank head coach Dave Canales and Kevin Wallace for giving us some time. Thank you so much for watching the Panthers Huddle. I'm Kristen Balboni. This is Thomas Davis. You got the 2 most important words for us.
Keep pounding.
You've been watching the Panthers Huddle, a copyrighted presentation of Carolina Panthers and the NFL.
Well, shout out to the Panthers Huddle. Another great episode. Definitely felt a little bit more informed about what's going on with the team. I love the Panthers Huddle. I love getting that inside look at the team. But this is your boy, Mr. T-Man 1993 from the original Panthers fan podcast. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. We're still on our journey to get to 1,000 subs. Make sure you come in and join the family. Other than that, everybody, keep pounding.